I always tell the story. After the first day there, I was ready to go back home because I had just, for me, I just need to know it's real. Talking to all those people that had 20 units, 30 units, 100 units, $1 million portfolios, and learning their stories. Oh yeah, I just cold called someone. I wrote them a letter. We did seller finance. I put my 10 houses as collateral. I got a loan for 1.6 million. I only had to put $40,000. Just create like real, very easy things. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready to go back home. We got a cold call.
Charles Oglesby here, also known as Todd Millionaire, founder and director of the Todd Capital Investment Club, also 4-year podcaster. You guys all know who I am, created the best-selling options course, also created the best-selling freedom pack that consists of everything that you need to start from where you are and obtain financial freedom in less than a year. I believe that you can do it. If you take the things that we put in this freedom pack, you can accomplish those goals. So click the link in the bio. Check us out. Support what we have going on. We do nothing if it does not add value to you. So best believe that whatever you invest in us, you're going to get 10 times that return back. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, rate and review our podcast. Leave a comment, leave us some feedback. We love to see it. We love to read it, and we respond to all comments. So check out the episode. So I need a person to do this for me. But we out here in Detroit for interview number 4. But this time we got 2 guests on at the same time, and we made it work. It was not easy, but we made it work. We're also on Instagram Live. You already know who the brother is to the right. This is Eric Friday, Real Estate Friday. You've seen him. Actually, I want to say I might have came to know him through Jay Morrison.
Yeah, I think that is how you reached out.
Yeah, he was kind of like his Detroit Connect. I don't know if you guys ended up doing any deals in Detroit, but you've still been doing deals in Detroit. Fact. And it's cool to see your progression. And I like to have people on the show who have progressed because, I mean, you were doing wholesale deals, probably still doing wholesale deals, good wholesale deals too. Like that was one thing I liked about you is like they weren't bad wholesale deals. They were fair wholesale deals where I'm sure you were getting paid and we could still have some money on the back end too.
Yep.
So I appreciate that. And then also doing some really cool flips in the Bagley area. And I just saw that you are doing another flip that is a 2-family conversion.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about that too. But you guys just launched a new brand called the Monopoly Brothers. So I want to discuss that and give you guys opportunity to introduce that. So first, let's introduce yourself and then also introduce the brand. So welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm going to let Jamil go first.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So J Strickland, first time on a podcast. And me and Eric linked up, and you see through our the merch, we Monopoly Bros. We just launched this brand, I believe maybe Monday, a couple of days ago, and the Monopoly Bros brand is really a brand of our story. That's really what it is, of starting out buying a single family home, right, renting it out, getting that cash flow. Then going to moving up, buying another single family home or a duplex, which I house hacked. I think he grabbed a duplex. And then we bought more single family homes, right? It ain't just like Monopoly, right? What you do is you trade them all in and you go apartments. So about 3 months ago, me and Eric closed on 52 units apartment deal, 5.2 million. I mean, it's great area. It's just unbelievable. And so we think about that and we think like, that's real life Monopoly. Single family duplex, trade it in, go big, go multifamily. So that's what the My Bros brand is. That's what we are about. And our goal is to show others how to do that. Because if we can do it, y'all can do it, right? So in the future, we'll have, products and different things that we can help people do the same exact thing.
Yeah. So like Charles mentioned, my name is Eric Friday. Started off wholesaling. Or started off actually as a landlord in 2015. Is how I got my start in real estate. Then went into wholesaling right after, which is where I met Jamil. Actually, at a Jay Morrison event is where I met Jamil. And then from there, buy and flip, and then more rentals, and then obviously the apartment building. And then like Jamil mentioned, the Monopoly Bros brand is kind of just like it's a realistic approach to scale in real estate.
Yeah.
And being that we are actually doing the work, people naturally come to us for questions and want to know how. So we established the brand to basically help individuals realistically achieve their real estate goals.
The cool thing about it is a lot of times the brand is in the response to the demand.
Yep, exactly.
So you didn't just like wake up one day like, hey, we're going to do this. It's going to be hot. It's like, no, like people were asking you questions. You probably ran out of time to get to all the answers or to answer them all. And being that you have the best intentions and you want to help people, it's like, how can we do this and how can we actually help people? Because I can't help people if I'm responding to DMs all day. How am I going to still do the business of real estate?
For sure.
So we got to create a way, an intelligent way to do both.
All right.
Do business and do that.
And then it like you say, the bros part. We met each other in 2016.
Oh wow.
And met each other through real estate. And we just happened to, like you go to an event, you meet someone, they're like-minded, and then you kind of just connect. We exchanged numbers. Wasn't nothing too crazy. Come to find out, the first house I had already owned, he bought a house like less than a mile away. Mm-hmm. And just us being connected, and us them being our first homes, we naturally meeting someone at that place. We're learning from each other, so we're bouncing things off of each other, and we're right in the same neighborhood.
Right.
So we do that. We get that first deal, and then from there the relationship grows. And then he's off on his own. He's house hacking, buying more properties. I'm off on my own, buying single family duplexes, more single families, and then we come together on an apartment deal to do our first deal together. So all of it is genuine. Like it's nothing that is like fake about it. It's all like you say. It was just a demand now that he's getting questions, I'm getting questions. We're playing Monopoly. We're brothers now, so it's like it just makes sense.
So let's talk about this 52 unit deal. How did you know it was the right apartment complex to buy?
So like Jamil mentioned, for one, it's in a Class A neighborhood, Royal Oak. So that's the first thing. Like, and just to kind of give a quick backstory into the apartment side of things. That was always my plan to go, and that's that. I'll give that credit to Jay Morrison. Wholesale, buy and flip, buy and hold, single family, 4 unit or more. Yeah. That's always been the plan for me.
That's bars right there.
So
you said wholesale
first, build up your capital,
right?
To then be able to purchase a buy and flip, either whether it's hard money lending because you got your capital now to do the rehab or buy the home.
Right.
Now that should get you more capital, which should now put you in position to actually buy a home and rent it and hold it.
Right.
That should then build up more capital. So now that you can take those single families and go into a 1 to 4 unit or 4 or more unit.
Nice.
So that was always my plan. And he had the same type of mindset too. It's like, we're using this wholesaling to get to apartment buildings. So that was always in the back of my mind, back of his mind, but we had never really talked about it. I end up he was doing his own thing on the apartment side. I end up getting into apartment group, and there was an event that they were doing, and they allowed us to bring a guest. The first person I thought about going was Jamil, because he and I had a previous conversation recently about just apartment dealing, because he was getting more involved in it. So I'm like, cool, I can bring Jamil. We'll go. It'll be cool. So we go. I always tell the story. After the first day there, I was ready to go back home because I had just. For me, I just need to know it's real. Talking to all those people that had 20 units, 30 units, 100 units, $1 million portfolios, and learning their stories. Oh yeah, I just cold called someone. I wrote them a letter. We did seller finance. I put my 10 houses as collateral. I got a loan for 1.6 million. I only had to put 40,000 down. Just create like real, very easy things. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready to go back home. We got a cold call.
That's why those groups are important.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm reading the Will Smith book, and he's talking about the quote we all know. It's like you're the average of the 5 people that you're around. Mm-hmm. So you got to put yourself around the 5 people you want to be like. Yep. So you're around those people, and then it's like you kind of feel weird for not owning apartments.
Yep. 100%. That's 100%. That's exactly what it was. It was like, all these people, and we weren't the only ones, but just our drive, our mindset's like, and he was on the same thing. Like, we can leave. Like, not in the sense that it's not worth it, but let's get to work now.
Right.
So that's what we did. We came home on a Sunday. Was it Sunday?
That's deep, man.
Came home on a Sunday. We had a list to call. We had a meeting that Tuesday. We had a list to call that week, and we started calling the following week, cold calling. Mm-hmm. 2 or 3 weeks into that cold calling, we were doing it weekly cold call sessions. 2 or 3 weeks into that, he calls the owner of the 52 units in Royal Oak.
Okay. And what's the conversation like when you when you talk to that person?
It was surprisingly went very well because of he was very receptive. I think people that are looking to sell apartments, if you sound like if you not even sound like, if you know what you're talking about to a certain degree, they're willing to work with you.
Yeah.
But also, you can't play around when you talk about people in apartment buildings, right? They're usually somebody with a higher. This person was a surgeon.
Oh, wow.
So imagine when he say looking to sell, and I say I need your T12, your rent roll, blah, blah, all these different things. And I say it confidently. He know that all right, they're going to either buy it or not. So I think the conversation went very well. It wasn't like this long drawn out conversation, me putting on my best sales cold calling tactics. It was really just like, hey, we trying to buy over here.
Yeah.
Are you looking to sell? Yes. Well, I'm for real. If you send me your rent roll, T12, this, and answer a few questions, I'll get back to you. And
you can make an offer based off of that.
Give me 3 days to underwrite it.
Right.
I'll get you offer in under 3 days.
All right. So how do you make an offer on that property? What is the formula? What do the numbers look like?
In a sense, it all goes back to, he happened to have all the data we needed.
Right.
Right. So we needed the rent roll. We needed the T12, right? Because it all comes down to underwriting.
Mm-hmm.
Underwriting is a lot more important, in my personal opinion, when you're talking multifamily versus like a single family home. You kind of spit right, just like draw out the cash flow in a single family home. When you're talking 52 units, you need to really get in Excel, really get in there and work out all the numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
We go by the cap rate, right? The cap rate of
Cost per door,
right?
The net, obviously the cap rate includes the net operating income.
Yep.
We're looking at all the expenses. We're looking to see. So really, like I say, with that being a Royal Oak Class A neighborhood, when he I don't know, did he tell us the amount right away?
He did.
He told us how much he wanted, which was a little.
How much did he want?
Was it? He was looking to.
Originally,
it was like 4 point something.
Yeah, he was like
looking.
4.6 million.
Yeah. Get an offer for like 4.6.
Right.
And the kind of backstory of that, it was a prepayment penalty. That was us assuming his current financing.
Okay.
Which would have turned out to be a not as good of a deal.
Yeah.
Because of rates and everything. Just when they did it, I don't know. But
so you can get a better rate now.
Oh yeah,
rates
for
are lower.
sure. That's a whole nother story.
That's a whole man.
You almost are getting that rate, and some of this is a credit to our partner David Tupin. He's been doing it way longer than us,
right.
And that's who we went to.
So you guys brought in a partner. To
100%. Soon as we knew, and that's just it's a whole bunch of this. But yeah, the rates on 5.6 million are better than a lot of people get on their single family homes.
Yeah.
So we're looking at rent roll. We're looking at how much you're charging. So when we're getting this property and it's $700 a month, $800 a month, $950, it's literally, so it's not even it might be a quarter mile from the best hospital in Michigan?
It's literally the
quarter mile
largest
from
best
Beaumont.
hospital in Michigan,
which is it's
it's
prime location. When you see those type of rent numbers, you know it's under rented.
Right.
So all we have to do is know, okay, so if we get it to a certain point and we're able to boost rents, we can pay what he's asking.
Yeah.
We just have to make sure that what he's saying is true.
Yeah.
And make sure we can get the financing.
And also value add.
Yeah, because it's a value add play.
Right.
Because we know we're going to get this property. And again, I have to credit a lot of the credit to David because he's already established in that Royal Oak, Ferndale corridor. So he knows. And he was in the process of selling some units in Ferndale, which is an adjacent city to Royal Oak. So he knew, which is a sub, like it's a little bit below Royal Oak. Right. So if he's selling a certain price per door in Ferndale, we know once we go to sell this or appraise to refinance, we're going to get way more because we're going to basically do the same thing he's already doing there. So that's how we underwrote.
So we talked about this on the last episode or the last conversation we had, and they were saying that if you want to get into a space, go find somebody who's successful in that space. But we mentioned that you might have to compensate that person. So how did you guys make it worth his time?
It's crazy. So I'm gonna keep it, but I don't think I told Eric this. This may be something for you. I heard, like I said, friend of mine, David Tupin. I'm gonna shout him out because he he just do good things. And then in the real estate lab, Yeah, the short answer is we brung the short answer is we brung the deal, right? So that's the short answer. We brung the deal.
Oh, right.
That's the short answer, right?
Almost the hardest part.
That's that in
good
apartments.
deal.
Yeah, that's a good deal in apartments is very hard to come by. That's part of it, and then the other part was the relationship too. Prior, we paid for his, Discord and being a part of this thing, right, and buying products from him. So that helps too. So when somebody knows you, just like anything else, my bad. You said what?
Oh, when I muted it to tell Romeo something, I forgot to unmute it, but it's all good.
Can I ask a question?
Can you hit that space bar really quick? But then, ask your question. Can you hit the space bar on that computer? There we go. And what's the question, brother?
I think y'all might be getting into this because he said, how do you make it make sense for a partner?
Yeah.
Well, also, I mean, I don't have this problem. I'm just saying I noticed a lot of people, everybody's doing their own thing. So how is it that you two are able to coexist in a line, even if y'all have similar goals? Like, I'm pretty sure you run into a lot of people that have partners and people don't stick together. It's like everybody that's in a rap group, everybody wants to be, even if it's not egos, but everybody wants to be a solo
Everybody
artist.
wants to be
so
Cameron.
like, when y'all are partners, how is it that y'all are always still working on the same thing and like you not putting one thing down to work on something else? Because everybody got their own grind, everybody got different businesses.
Yeah, and so this kind of goes back to like Charles mentioning, like brands are usually built out of necessity or like out of need. The whole story of the brand and us coming together, it's almost like divine intervention. Like we are a lot alike in many ways, but we are a lot different in a lot of ways too. So it's like it's almost just like, you know how like it's almost, you can't really describe it as like it was just kind of meant to happen because we bounce off each other so well, we work together so well. We not to say that it's still in the early infant stages of this brand and us kind of really working together, but we've been around each other and working, doing things for at least 2 years now.
Yeah.
We've never even had like
kind
an
of
argument.
some respect there as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. It's a like-mindedness between the two of us. It's respect. It's accountability. It's kind of like, it's what they say in like what you need. You need a yin and a yang. Yeah. It's like we're alike, but we're also yin and yang too. So it works.
Had a few opportunities to just work alongside each other. You probably were thinking it, but maybe not even paying attention. Like,
I'll be honest,
I've
never like, I figured we could do things together, and like if an apartment, like the biggest thing was we were on the single family journey, but we always talked about apartment building. So I knew that set us apart from most individuals anyway, because a lot of people get in this game and they want to just be the best wholesaler, or they want to wholesale 100 deals, or they want to do a certain amount of flips each year. And that was never our goals. It was always to scale and get into apartment buildings, 100 units, 100 doors, 1,000 doors. So just that in itself, to me, set us apart from a lot of people in real estate. And then just in us talking and having conversations, it just started making more and more sense. I just felt that we would do an apartment deal. I didn't know all this would come about.
Right.
Monopoly Bros, actually doing apartment. Now I don't, like, pretty much everything we do as far as apartment buildings is together. We're building a wholesale business together. So like, I never saw this. I just saw this was a like-minded individual. We clicked. I appreciate that we shared similarities. He was from the same type of background I was, and we was on the same thing moving forward. That's what I liked.
I would say it's one of those things also where, like, hustlers want to work with hustlers.
Facts.
Yeah.
And you don't want somebody who's like, hey, man, put me on.
Yep.
You just like, I want to run with somebody who's going to add value to what I have going on, not somebody who's going to just be helping to get to where I am, or maybe even extract value from what I have going on. So I think that's something that you guys take from each other. There's a lot of benefits that come from what you guys are doing. But back to the deal. I'm curious how you guys got from 4.6 to 5.2.
You want to add on? Because
So
we did go up.
Yeah.
He was.
So just to kind of, because you mentioned like what was the value and like why would somebody want to work with us?
Right.
A part of that, so like Jamil mentioned, we're in David's group, Real Estate Lab, or I'm in the group, Real Estate Lab. Jamil has done a lot of stuff with David off, what we're doing now. So we had the relationship. When after he talked to the guy, the first thing I did was went to the Discord and said, hey, because we got different channels, hey, I'm working this Royal Oak deal. If anybody's interested in helping us underwrite it, You know, because we do that in the group regardless. David reached out. He messaged me like, yeah, sure, I'll be interested in underwriting, and I'd be interested in buying it if you know partnering with you on it if it's a deal.
Yeah.
So that led to his relationship was closer with David. So I basically told him what David said. We got on the call. We went over the numbers, and David pretty much took it from there. In terms of how we got from, I think it was 5. I thought we bought it for 5. It was 5.6.
My bad, 5.6.
5.6.
Yeah, usually it goes down. The asking price you working with.
So
Yeah.
he originally wanted like 4.5, and doing the numbers, and I think when we made our first initial offer, we discovered that there was a prepayment, and we discovered the analytics of his financing. And at 4.5, using his finance, it just wouldn't have been that good of a deal.
The payment,
and the prepayment penalty, and then also what the seller wanted to clear. So in order to get him what he wanted, we had to go up in offer price.
Interesting.
But the reason why we were able to do that, because financing, like, I think it's
That's so interesting.
I don't know what the specifics of it is, and I honestly don't want to give too much. I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if we can. But long story short,
we could offer way more, or 5.6 instead of 4.5. Get him his money, and it's still a better deal because of the interest rates.
Wow.
We're not paying interest for a certain amount of time, and then we refinance out of it.
Yeah. No, that was pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that like literally, man, just looking at those numbers,
That's so interesting.
and just realizing that, man, the amount of interest we're paying on $5.6 million is less than what some people pay on $50,000.
Yeah. It's
And
quite.
that's fast.
What's the interest rate?
I want to say it's like 3 or 2.
It's like 2.8.
Jeez.
Something like that.
But again, that's to credit David.
What kind of bank do you go to?
Yeah, that's all David.
What kind of bank finances an apartment deal?
I mean, there's
Like big banks, Bank of America. What kind of a bank did you?
Level 1 does it, I know for sure.
Level 1. Never even heard of that before.
They're
they're
local.
here. They're here.
Level 1.
They definitely do it.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of brokers too. So like, there's mortgage lenders
Yeah.
like the Chase and that, but there's also some brokers that do it as well. So like I know David, it's a guy that I met once again there downtown. He's a broker for. It's actually one of the bigger commercial lending. It has a fancy name. It'll come to me. I'll let you know off air. But I forgot the name of it. But he brokers for that lender.
So a lot of us would think getting a loan for 5.2 would be difficult. 5.6, whatever the number is. How difficult was it? Was it a hard conversation? Because a lot of people say that it's easier to get a big deal than it is to get a small deal. Do you agree, or was it still kind of like pulling teeth?
I mean, we like a part of our partnership is like. So it's more than even David, right? So like, let's put it in perspective, just so people understand.
Yeah, help us understand.
Because my thing is, I want people to get value from this, right? And also, it's like I don't want to beat up. We don't want to back to our knowledge bros. We want to make sure we give people the real information so they can really do it.
Right.
So I can't disclose like every single thing, but let's say, just for numbers' sake, there's maybe 15 people in this deal.
Wow.
Okay. So that's just for numbers' sake, right? And it could be a little bit more, a little bit less. 10 of those 15 people are just strictly money passive partners. Right. They just want to collect their 8% a year, they bonus every half year, blah, 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 right? So they might, let's say for numbers' sake, they put up $2 million, right? We have other people that has maybe puts up more money that's actually managing part, right? It's just different partners in a deal that help do it. And part of, let's say that 5, me, Eric, Dave, and a couple other guys. One person may be the person that has a connection with the lender, the property manager,
signing on the debt.
We have somebody else that's maybe the person that can. It's just so much into it that makes it go.
Sophisticated stuff.
Man. It is sophisticated. It's not hard, but it's sophisticated. But it's easy once you do it.
I was gonna say the thing, and this is again why we really start pushing the apartments. Yeah. Like going through this process. It was like, why would I waste my time with single families? It's almost the exact same process.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like
in terms of we cold called, we found the deal, we ran the numbers, we got under contract, we did our due diligence, we got the money, and we closed. The numbers were bigger. There was a bit more moving parts, but nothing really changed. The biggest thing, regardless of wholesaling, buying and flipping, buying and holding single families, multifamilies, is have the relationships. The biggest thing is we had relationships.
Yeah.
We were able to go to people to get things done. When we didn't know something, we had somebody else that could do it.
They do it, yeah. It's interesting because when you say that, it's like I don't necessarily dislike real estate right now, but I do dislike single family homes.
Yeah, I understand.
And I think we all go through it. We all go through it.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a monopoly bro and roll my 5 homes into an apartment, man.
Well, and then that's another
That's part of it.
that's another aspect of the Monopoly Bros brand. We understand that.
Yeah.
We understand that there's individuals like you who might be out of state or people who are in state that they don't have the infrastructure or they don't have the knowledge, but they do have the capital.
Yeah.
We're constantly looking for deals.
Right.
So
And
and that's an
part of-
opportunity.
And part of Monopoly, that's why I love our brand, because I think we're gonna do something a little bit different. So we're gonna have the marketing aspect, but our end goal, we're gonna have a fund too.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a fund where people can put in 25, like we might have a minimum 25,000 or 50,000. A lot of people, believe it or not, a lot of people got 50,000. You'd be surprised, right? Because they're gonna buy a single family in Detroit 50,000 anyways, right? So why not put into an apartment, right? We're, like I said, back to the 20 people.
Doing immediate value add.
Yeah,
too,
and then
so-
you think about let's say if we get 15 people, me, Ty, Eric, we got all these, real hustlers, ballers, people that's really doing it, and we all get to meet up every meeting and talk about our apartment deal.
Yeah.
That's a fun conversation. And then on top of that, we can do the same thing. So part of our Monopoly Bros brand is to have that fund so we can replicate that and have our own people do it.
And then another part of the Monopoly Bros brand, again, we talked about we went single family. We've literally, I think you would trust us to invest money in an apartment deal. If we show you the numbers, I think you would trust just watching us on social media, hearing us talk about it. We've progressed enough to where there's some validity to what we're saying.
Yeah.
So that in itself is another aspect of it. It's like if you go. We've shown you that we went single family, 4 houses, and now we got this.
And we got receipts.
We can prove it.
We can prove it.
It's much easier to invest. That's usually, and especially I think Romeo kind of touched on it, that's usually what sets our community apart is that we just lack the knowledge and having the provability. Like we don't trust the people that we're looking to invest with. So it's out there.
Yeah.
You know we're doing it.
So it's interesting. Sometimes I look at apartments in Detroit, and I might not be looking in the best areas.
Yeah.
So would you buy an apartment complex in like a less desirable area, or do you think that would be kind of risky, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't even really tell you. It might be a C or a D class. I don't know.
I'm gonna let Jamil answer.
I know he's gonna let me answer.
I'm gonna let Jamil answer that.
He gonna let me.
Also, because there's a lot of those like abandoned apartment complexes out here. So do you guys see value in those?
Yeah, so I'm a savage. So absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm be real. I'm to the point where when it comes to apartments, I don't even want to invest in Detroit.
Really?
In apartments.
Yeah.
Single family, because my reason is this, and the reason why he gonna let me say it is, in Detroit, single family homes are easier to control.
Yeah.
And the neighborhoods typically are better, right? So I have single families right now in Detroit. I know all 4 grandmas. It's a well put together neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Apartments is 2 things with Detroit apartments. One, they blew, like you said, they're abandoned. They blew out. They need ridiculous amount of rehab, right? And they're usually not in desirable areas. Usually, unless you downtown. Usually, right? If you get a 30 unit in Detroit, it's probably not an area you want to be at, right? How many 30 units are in, let's be real, how many 30 units are in Sherwood Forest? People that know Detroit, not many. Sherwood Forest is a very nice area, right? The apartment buildings, and I'm not trying to get into the race thing like that, because there is reasoning why people redline and did this and put the hoods here and da. But they're typically not in areas I want to invest my money in, right? So answer your question, no. Now development, and we might in the future, Monopoly Bros 15 years from now, we might want to build ground up in an area and then just take over the whole block. But buying an existing multifamily in Detroit, no. No.
Yeah, and the reason why I had him answer that is because I'm such a, and I'm not saying he's not, but I was just so I want to build in my community. I want to do it. Mm-hmm. But he said something that honestly it just makes sense. The exit out of a Detroit property would be very difficult.
Very.
Even if we bought it, made it very nice, we had tenants. For one, we're probably going to have a property management problem.
Yeah.
And then then also
Why would you have a property management problem?
Property managers don't want to manage in Detroit.
It just comes with the territory of it's a hassle to manage tenants in Detroit. So it's you either get the people who don't do a good job with it, or the people that do a good job, they don't want to touch it because they realize how much of a headache, and it's not worth the monthly percentage.
Exactly.
So knowing that it's harder to get loans on those Detroit properties, and then just the exit out of it is going to be much more difficult. So
the pool of potential buyers is smaller.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
So he like reeled me in. It's like, all right, I know you want to do it, but we got like you mentioned, we have to have everything in place: the infrastructure, the money, the resources, the property management, all that, and then go in ground zero and do it. Or be downtown or midtown or somewhere that's like really already booming. But those neighborhoods, those $20,000 a door vacant that people say is is going to take $20,000 to fix it up. We're spending $12,000 in Royal Oak.
Really?
Per unit.
What does that $12,000 look like?
It's a full cosmetic rehab with some variances to but that's granite countertops, new cabinets, new fixtures, new paint, new carpet, new floors.
Do you get a discount because you buy in bulk?
Sometimes, with different vendors. Yeah. But if we're spending $12,000 on a property was technically supposed to be 100% occupied, you're going to spend more than $20,000 in a building that's been vacant for 20 years. So that in itself, and that's again where we add the value, because the majority of people haven't closed, haven't closed an apartment deal, especially wholesaling. And I love wholesaling. I'll never stop wholesaling. I wholesale. So I'm not saying this in a way like negative towards wholesale. But most people haven't, who are wholesaling apartments, have never bought one. So that in itself makes us stray away from a Detroit property that's been vacant for 20 years.
Right. Why the name Monopoly Bros and not Monopoly Brothers? I was just thinking about that. I was like, it's bros.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's going to be a reason.
Yeah, well, what's crazy?
Maybe it's just easier to say bros.
What's crazy is Jamil, we were trying to, once the apartment building had closed and we saw how we were kind of aligning on things, Jamil had said, I feel like we should be like Monopoly something. Like something should be Monopoly. And he said Monopoly. I just immediately texted him brothers.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we shortened it up to
I don't know. I think we was talking to our team.
Yeah, I think we was talking to Eric and Jamila
it's just
about
a lot.
it.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit less. It's too many words or syllables. I don't know.
And then I think part of it is we didn't want to be exclusive.
Yeah.
Like this is only for either brothers as in men or brother as in minority black men. It's like just bros. Everybody's a bro. Women that's my bro. It was. I think that was kind of where we were kind of going with it instead. But that literally when he said Monopoly, the first thing I said was brothers.
Yeah.
Because that's what we were doing. We were operating like brothers.
Right.
And we were in
Monopoly. Have a community, and it's going to be like, people be like, that's my brother in Christ. That's my brother in Monopoly.
That's my brother in
Monopoly. That's my brother in Monopoly. That's my brother in Monopoly. I like that. That's funny.
I want to talk about this flip that you're doing, though. I know you've been doing a bunch, but I'm curious because I saw that you have it outlined in your order of how you're going to do it. And I want to say you said that you're going to do framing and windows. What is the order that you approach at Rehab?
So typically it depends, obviously on the rehab, but just from an overall standpoint, I'm looking to do roof first, roof, windows, and any foundation issues that I might have. And then from there, I'm going inside, framing first, get my rough. After framing is done, start with the rough mechanicals, plumbing, electrical, HVAC. After that's done, then we start drywall, prepping paint, get floors. It depends. Toweling will usually be, but hardwoods I usually wait till the end to do them. But toweling can start, cabinets, like I say, painting, and then once all that's done, then we start tightening up stuff and doing like finishing rough, finishing plumbing, electrical, and then hardwood floors.
And that's kind of a lot.
Carpet
of game.
and stage.
There's a lot of things, huh?
That's a lot of game too, though. Because I'm gonna be real with you, my first flip, I didn't know the order.
That's the hard part, figuring out the order.
That's very hard.
Well, and I look at it from a, obviously it's nothing I thought about, but it's just, I'm a very logical and reasonable person. Like when you think about it, you want to protect the house. So if the roof is leaking, get it done. Because if you don't take care of it, you don't spend the money there, and then you go spend your money on all the cosmetic stuff, you're gonna get it. It's gonna get ruined. If the foundation isn't good, you start doing all this stuff inside, then the house collapses. Windows and doors, I like doing just because we're in Detroit from a protective standpoint. It's much easier to lock and secure newer windows and doors. So that's why I like to do that. And then from there, you want to go framing, because if you start rough plumbing and rough electrical, your framer might start building walls where plumbing runs are, you know, so it just makes sense to do that first, and then your framer can frame around what's already there. And then obviously you drywall, you paint, and then you can start doing like the pretty stuff.
You said you do the mechanicals before you do the framing?
No, I do the framing first.
Right.
Yeah, do the framing first, and then have the mechanical people come in and do their rough stuff.
Right, because they got to start putting
they go
wires
through. Because you got to think, like on the 2 unit, it's a technically a 4-bed 2-bath house. We're adding an entire room. That room has to be framed for an electrician to know where to put outlets, switches, for a plumber, for the bathroom to know where this is going. So I need stuff like for the shower. I need that in place for the plumber and electrician and HVAC to run their stuff, so that we know what lines up with the layout of the rooms.
Right. So when you are doing the framing, how do you determine how you want to frame it? Do you go back and get the blueprints, or does the framer just know what to do? How do you determine that? Because a lot of times it's a blank slate.
Yeah. I mean, it's a collaborative effort. I'm looking at comps, which a lot of times, like in this area, it's where I'm at now, it's not really much to comp by, but could be previous projects. I might bring in an interior designer. I asked Jamil what he thinks. Like, it's a collaborative effort to know. It is. Some of it is just common sense. Like, you know, some people, when they walk in the house, they want to see an open concept, or what I like to do in houses that I can't, you know, it makes more sense to put the laundry on the main floor than the basement. So some of it's a collaborative effort, but I think it starts with comps, because that's what you should be buying the property off of, the comp, the number, because that's where you win. That's when you're buying. So
that is a bar, y'all. That is a bar. Foundation issues. What are some common foundation issues, and how do you remedy them?
Thankfully, I've never had any real foundation issues.
Yeah.
Have you had any real foundation issues?
Of course I have.
Which one?
Most of them.
Oh, shit. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I haven't really had, thankfully, too many.
I'm going to give somebody some game real quick, if I can go back. Just some game, and then we'll talk about the foundation issues. I learned that one reason people don't like to buy corner houses is because all the plumbing goes to the end. It's like a hook to the sewer line. So, and all the rain goes there, and so what happens is it messes up usually if you have a sewer usually on the corner and your house there, what happens is it clogs your plumbing up. So therefore it messes up, goes up on those bad days, it floods real bad, and usually messes up the end's house the worst, which therefore causes plumbing issues. Another thing, if you within maybe less than a mile from a highway, that rumbling from the highway, the cars going there, messes up your foundation. So I learned just trees. Oh my Lord, I can talk about trees. I hate trees with a passion. I can talk about trees. My whole Instagram story was me hating on trees in my stories for like a whole month, because the roots they crack through cement. So anyways, those are some tips, some game, just whoever listening, like some things to kind of be aware of when you're buying a house to flip or rent out. Remedies is hard. I mean, if you're not getting your engineer in there, which you should, get an engineer. Just some, I hate to say it, like if it's a rental, some easy ways to help do it is to get it, I forgot the word, not waterproof, but sealed, and I forgot the wording for it. But it's just different ways that you can do it. One, I start with the drainage system.
Dry lock. The dry lock.
Dry lock is one. That's cool. Dry lock is definitely one way of going about it, but it's really stay away from, to be honest with you. That's really the game.
Or I would say, like Jamil mentioned, an engineer. I would definitely hire a professional for true foundation issues. Like if you see walls buckling, horizontal cracks going through the walls, like displacement of cinder block brick. Like I would, or I said walls bowing. Like if you see those type of issues, I would definitely hire an expert if you're not already
What if
an
it's
expert.
leaks, like water?
So this is what I tell people about Michigan basements. Either they have leaks already or they will.
It's a fact.
You're not going to really get around it.
Yeah, it rains so much.
And not only that, not gonna say 9 times out of 10. A lot of times, what causes, unless it's like a foundation issue, wetness in basement is usually like grading the dirt. Like literally, the grade or the cement is graded negative to go back into the house, or gutters or downspouts. That's usually your issue. Usually, like most people, especially in Detroit, the when they built these houses, the downspouts go directly into like reservoirs next to the house. Those reservoirs were built out of, I think, galvanized pipe, but they crack. So the water's sitting at the bottom of the foundation of the house, which is why you get all that the iridescent, whatever they call that, that's on the walls and corners of houses, because the downspout is going directly down and it's probably cracked. So when the water goes down, it's just sitting there. It's not getting dispersed out into the city like it's supposed to. So I always tell people, look at the gutters. Are they leaking? Are the downspouts moving the water away from the house? Is it graded properly? That I guarantee that'll help 70% of leaks.
If you dry lock it.
And then once you dry lock it and then you correct the leaks on the outside,
maybe get it snaked. When you do a few of those things, snake it, dry lock it, the gutters is underrated. And then even sometimes a dig. Like I got a few digs done on my property where they dig outside 10 feet. They cut up all the roots.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They could cut all the roots, get rid of all that so it could prevent it, right?
What is the rat wall?
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, I got stuff around the edges of my,
Yeah, that's nothing to you. It's still in the base.
Yeah, the base.
But the leaks aren't, like I say, assuming the foundation is pretty solid, like I say, you don't have the bowing on the walls, the cinder blocks aren't displaced, there isn't like major horizontal cracks, going through the house, or vertical. Those can obviously cause issues too. You can get around leaks.
Yeah.
Or wetness in the
I always
basement.
thought the leaks and wetness, and also like the water stains that you see if there's I guess a flood down there. I thought that was a foundation issue, but apparently not.
Not always. Like I say, and that's why it's important to either hire an expert, know someone who is knowledgeable to determine that.
Yeah.
Because like I say, as far as wetness, a basement getting wet, I just say it's either happened or it's going to happen.
Yeah.
In some way or another.
So what do we miss that you guys want to cover? Because I want to make sure that we take advantage of this opportunity. We talked about the apartment complex, talked about the flip, talked about the brand. What products are you guys releasing that you know of? Do you have anything that is like set to launch, or is it mostly just ideas right now?
I mean, we don't have nothing set to launch. There are ideas, right?
Okay.
So things such as.
But I mean, we do have the merch coming.
Yeah, we got merch coming. So if you see the merch is definitely coming. With the Monopoly Bros, with 4 house equals a thing. Monopoly Bros, the merch is definitely coming. But we got some, courses, ideas we're gonna do. We have a meetup that we actually been doing.
That's dope.
People been there. Our meetups are fire. They've been free. We also ran our first flip event, where people they paid to come to an event, and we actually showed them how to run the numbers, what it looks like to buy a flip. Like, we went through the whole property. So we done events. A lot of our stuff been event based. As far as online stuff, as courses, we're just working on some of that. I think it's gonna be really fire. He has an ebook coming out. I know you could talk about that for a quick second. And so a lot of my ideas, we already have events going on. Like, events have been going on for a year or two now. It just, and then the merch. But we got things coming for sure.
Dope. Ebook. What's the ebook about?
It's a free ebook we're gonna put out. It's basically just it's 5 steps how to get started in real estate. And it's pretty similar to what I or how I feel that you should get started in real estate. Mindset, relationships, networking, build a team, and then start closing deals, really. But yeah, we got that coming. We got some other products that we plan on dropping. Honestly, we draw inspiration from a lot of individuals, like, what you're doing.
Facts.
We're looking to, and there was always an idea when we started the meetups, was that initially, and this is kind of how we really got started, was when we got together with the meetups, we saw that there was a disconnect in that. Like people, the response that we were getting from that is like people enjoyed coming out, but then what we wanted to do was to build a community around that. Right. Was like, all right, we can talk real estate, but then also we can,
build some stuff
together too. So that is another portion or side of what we're trying to do too, is like build that community up so that they do have the affordable access to the products, the knowledge, our brains, to the mentorship, the merch, the other stuff that we're doing, the real estate, like the in person, like you mentioned, we saw a flip that we're actually doing, that we actually went into detail, literally to the T, on how we got it, how much money we spent, what we plan on spending, how much we're going to sell it for. Like there's nothing that you didn't know. We provided resources to those people, contractors that was working on that house. We gave them contacts. So it's we're just looking to build that community up. Again, there's obviously a need, so we're just looking to fulfill it because we get the questions, we get the emails, we get the people. So obviously, I mean, like our time is valuable. The easiest way to get that out to everyone is to start something like this.
First product, how to flip a property in Detroit.
For out of state people.
Yeah, that too. Out of state or just in general, man. I'll buy it. And I'm years in the game. I'm still I'm like, man, let me buy that. So, yeah, for the people out there, make sure you check out what they have going on. They are definitely more than qualified to be educating you in this space, especially if you're looking to invest in the Michigan, Detroit market. Shout out to them for making that $5.2 million deal go down. I'm inspired. I'm definitely trying to make that happen. And just follow their journey as they build their brand. Make sure you support what they have going on. Click the link in the bio. Get those ebooks. And when they do drop the actual products, make sure you cop the products. Did you guys already tell them where they can find you, follow you, support you got going on?
Yeah, so across the board, Monopoly Bros. And on Instagram, it's monopoly.bros, but Twitter, Monopoly Bros. TikTok, Monopoly Bros. No, Facebook, right?
Yeah, I mean, Facebook is Monopoly Bros. Everything is either monopoly.bros, and then on Twitter is monopoly_bros_. Everybody wanted to snag our name, but they can't have it. We buying rights to that, so we gonna be good on that. But monopoly.bros on Instagram, and then monopoly_bros_ on Twitter. We very active on both, and hey, tap in. The game we giving is gonna be crazy.
Dope.
Yeah.
Well, make sure you click the link in the bio. Like, share, subscribe. Give us a 5-star rating because we like 5-star ratings and we need 5-star ratings and we deserve a 5-star rating.
Definitely deserves a 5-star rating.
Yeah, if you give 6, do that.
Yeah.
And add one on that thing.
So with that, we're going to wrap this up. It's been a long day of Detroit everything. Looking at deals, talking to contractors, getting text messages asking for money, all kind of really cool things. But we ended it off with some really great podcasts, talking to some powerful people. There's some dope people in Detroit doing really cool things, and you could potentially be one of them. So don't sleep on the D. My name is Charles Oglesby, also known as Todd Millionaire, and we're signing off. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I know you guys got value from this. Make sure that you follow up with our guests. All the information is going to be in the bottom of the show notes. Make sure that you guys leave a rating and a review. We like 5-star reviews. Wherever you're listening to this, make sure you give us a review. We got to move up in those rankings because we need more people to hear these dope stories of dope people so that we can help change lives across the country. Click the link in the bio for all of our affiliate products and links. We have some great stuff down there. We're working with Terry Gioma, Hood Estates, Charm City Buyers, Andre Hatchett, a lot of really great people that are here to help you take your life to the next level.